Big news has come out of the White House. It has leaked, and the mainstream media is in an absolute uproar. And I'm talking about I have never seen them panic this way because one announcement from Trump has basically broken the entire internet. This announcement from Trump just earlier, he says President Trump will be making a speech to the nation on Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And ever since he's made this announcement, the mainstream media all day, MS Now, CNN, everyone from independent journalists have been trying to figure out what in the world is Trump going to talk about, because addressing the nation, speaking in the Oval Office is one thing, but addressing the entire nation at a specific time raises so many questions. And what has leaked out has made the Democrats, and it has made two in particular Democrats. The first two Democrats are about to go down. Let me actually read to you what somebody who hates Trump said. Breaking: Trump reportedly is set to take his bat-ish crazy conspiracies about 2020 election to a new level by declaring Georgia's two U.S. senators, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, illegitimate. Now, the reason why I'm reading to you this first is because this is exactly what this is about, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we don't know. We really don't know, but it is pretty wild to see that this is the reaction. Now, you have two mainstream, they have become mainstream over time, Democrats, and all they do is talk about Trump. John Ossoff has been compared to the new arrival of Barack Obama-ish type of Democrats. Many Democrats make him out to be the best. He's the future of the party, and he's enthusiastic, constantly talking about Trump. Well, here's what we do know, is that apparently President Trump is allegedly planning to announce that both senators from Georgia, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, were illegitimately elected due to election fraud.
We have some breaking news in the FBI's Fulton County election investigation. More than 200 federal agents now in Georgia to comb through data seized earlier this year. A clear sign that the investigation into the 2020 election is heating up. Thanks so much for joining us for the On the
Night. FBI agents are going through materials found today during a search of the Fulton County, Georgia election office. That search is said to be related to the 2020 election. Correspondent David Spont has details tonight. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening. FBI agents are still on site at the records warehouse for the Fulton County, Georgia Board of Elections. The matter is sealed before a court, meaning details are limited, but we can report this is related to the 2020 presidential election. Sources tell Fox News that agents retrieved documents, phones, and computers after a judge signed a warrant. President Trump has long made Georgia, and specifically Fulton County, a target of his complaints relating to the 2020 election. Shortly after that election, Trump spoke to Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and said he needed 11,780 votes to win the state. At the time, Raffensperger said he felt pressure from Trump and denied any widespread election fraud. He continues to deny it to this day. Now, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis brought state criminal charges against then former President Trump and others in 2023 for conspiracy to overturn the election. But her prosecution, Brett, was eventually derailed completely after it was revealed she had an intimate relationship with the top prosecutor on her team, and it could have tainted the case. Late last year, a judge dismissed the case in its entirety. Now, Brett, last month, the Justice Department sued Fulton County, Georgia, seeking access to 2020 voting records after state officials allegedly failed to respond to a subpoena. Fox News has learned the head of the FBI's Atlanta field office was recently forced out in recent days, but it's unclear, Brett, if this is all related.
This could be massive, and it has John Ossoff himself losing it. He is losing it. Now, again, I want to bring you some more context. This is just rumors as of right now, but where it's coming from is it's from people that are very credible about what's about to go down, because many people at the beginning thought that it was too, it was about Iran. No. President Trump is planning to announce that Georgia's two senators, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, are illegitimate because of fraud. A well-placed source in Georgia tells us announcement could come as soon as tonight. Some people said, well, Trump then later said that it will be at 9 p.m. Lawsuit filed against Warnock's campaign committee via FEC as required last month for smurfing, i.e., criminally laundering money into his campaign. So we know that there has been a lot going on when it comes to Raphael Warnock, when it comes to Georgia elections as a whole. And this has them panicking. Here's John Ossoff. He himself, I want to get to what his announcement is because he's not having a good time. He was on Rachel Maddow just the other day. He's all over the place ever since hearing about this. But let me show you that they are terrified about this, right? They're terrified. Watch the DNC propagandists on MS Now get in front of the story. Everyone's getting in front of it. They're all over the place. This is trending everywhere as this announcement is ground shaking, breathtaking. I mean, there are so many different words that we could talk about for this announcement. But first, take a look at how they're framing it. Take a look at how they're already trying to discredit Trump's announcement and address to the nation.
It appears the president is entering a new chapter in his effort to question the results of the 2020 election and potentially sow doubt in the upcoming midterms. A new White House task force is expected to begin releasing documents on alleged and so far absolutely baseless evidence of election irregularities in the coming weeks. That is according to two officials with knowledge of the matter.
Okay, do you guys get where this is going already? Oh, she went on air. Everyone is on air right now, absolutely panicking about what it, and mind you, these have been investigations for the last month. A lot of sources are saying that this could be about Maduro. That Maduro can 100% be testifying, that there could be a huge announcement because this is about allegedly election interference from a foreign nation. Foreign nations trying to interfere in our elections. One of the biggest mistakes Democrats made was trying to go after Trump, trying to ruin his life, trying to lock him up for the rest of his life, trying to take his properties, his assets. Remember that? They were going after him and his whole family. And now, well, the tables have turned here in the second year of his term. Of his second term. But let's keep listening. What else?
An acting director of national intelligence, Bill Pulte, will be a part of it. I'm going to guess front and center. Joining the group chat, MS Now senior national security reporter David Rode. What do we need to know, David?
So your summary was perfect as always, but it's very concerning. This is, I think, the first of a bunch of efforts we're going to see between now and the midterm elections to sow doubt. And all this is unprecedented. So this task force in the White House is going through thousands of pages of classified documents from the CIA, the NSA, and looking for election irregularities. The president himself can declassify it, and they can cherry pick examples, that may be playing to the president's conspiracy theories. Just this week, last week, a top Justice Department official sent letters to every single election, all 50 states to election officials saying, if you allow non-citizens to vote, we will prosecute you on federal charges. No election official that I've ever heard has intentionally allowed a non-citizen to vote. That is spreading the president's conspiracy theories about massive non-citizen voting.
Okay, so here it is. Massive conspiracy theories, right? That is the number one word that they're using now. And they're trying their best to get out in front of the story. They're bringing in everyone and everything. And as you can see, let's go to more.
I've got some exclusive reporting on more fallout at the FBI over that controversial investigation into the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. 3 people familiar with the matter told me that 2 FBI intelligence analysts in Atlanta were fired last week after refusing to participate in that investigation. This is a husband and wife team, and they were escorted out of their offices, we're told. I'm told they did not believe that this investigation was justified under FBI and Justice Department policy. Now, an FBI spokesperson did not confirm or deny these firings, but he said in a text to me that the FBI will investigate any credible allegation involving elections, and that FBI employees are expected to follow policy, and any deviation from that would not be tolerated. We first learned about...
Well, if they have nothing to hide, if there's nothing to hide, what is there to freak out about? Here's John Ossoff, right? He's been pretty much making a huge name for himself because all he talks about is Trump. We can go through his page in just a matter of moments, but as an outsider, I'm not a politician. I'm just somebody reporting and looking and making content about my opinions, and a lot of people feel the same way I feel, this is what he has to say about this. He says the Donald Trump spiral continue. It continues. Trump is spiraling, he says. The failed president pocketing billions as he drives up prices, is afraid to lose the midterms, so he will reheat debunked election conspiracy theories and tell bizarre new lies to deny his 2020 defeat and attack voting rights. This is a disaster for Trump and puppet Mike Collins, already mired in scandal. Mike will now have to double down on conspiracy theories, toxic in the general election. From this, he says, from the start, Trump's obsession with the Georgia elections revealed his fury that black voters were instrumental in his defeat. I'm asking concerned citizens nationwide to join me and support our vote protection efforts in Georgia. So if I was somebody that was probably from Norway or I don't know, somewhere in South America, somewhere deep outside of the United States of America, and I lived there and I resided there, I would read this from a politician. If I was just viewing both sides, I would say, this sounds suspicious, bro. Like, I would look at this and say, I wonder why everyone is acting this way. It's like they're trying to get out in front of it. And that's exactly the vibe that I'm getting here from these Democrats who are now hearing that this could be an announcement. And mind you, Trump hasn't even made the announcement. It's on Thursday, but because of the leaks, because of credible sources, according to them, they are doing their best to run 100 miles per hour into the flames, trying to get their points across. And so, what is going on? Well, holy crap, President Trump is set to announce that Democratic Senators Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock of Georgia were illegitimate. Now, why is this a big deal? Why are these announcements big deals? Well, again, the mainstream media would not be reporting on fraud in the 2020 election unless they absolutely had to. MS Now, formerly known as MSNBC, that you just saw, the only reason why they're reporting on it is because they want to get in front of it to convince their sheep that Trump is going to be lying. Whatever proof he's going to show, whatever announcement he's going to make, it's not credible, right? It's not credible, allegedly. So the mainstream media would not make up a story about foreign influence in the 2020 election. If they did, the Trump White House would call it out as fake news. The mainstream media would not draw attention, as they're doing right now, to this unless they had no choice, because they know it's coming. And I mentioned the name. There's more rumors. By the way, there's more rumors. And the rumors are that, let me actually go to more Democrats. There was a rumor. This is what Democrats are saying. Again, this is pure panic mode. Democrats are now saying that there was a rumor a couple weeks ago that Trump was looking to make a deal with Maduro to let him out of prison if he testifies that Hugo Chavez rigged the election for Biden, which was Sidney Powell and Rudy's insane conspiracy. So they're trying to front run the Maduro. They're trying to convince their voters, who are probably going to hear about a lot of this stuff for the first time because they probably vote blue no matter who. And look, we don't know if there's going to be arrests. We don't know what's going to happen. But if there is sufficient evidence that these two guys are illegitimate, I am wondering again, Trump is in power. If these two guys are ruled illegitimate, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Or is none of this going to happen? But we are already seeing announcements and pure panic in the mainstream side. We are seeing everything unfold, right? We are seeing what's going on with the investigations in Georgia. We are seeing we're seeing some people get fired. We're seeing all of these things kind of uprise and come out. And Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff are in pure panic. Like I told you guys, before I go, like I told you, let's go to Jon Ossoff, whose whole page is literally this. It's a bunch of LGBTQ flags, him and Raphael Warnock in Georgia, right? This is his X page. This is where he communicates with everyone and his voters. And he is constantly now posting pictures of him and Warnock, right? And every speech that he has made has been about Trump, 250th. Hey, Trump, Mike Collins on the federal investigation. He was on Rachel Maddow saying that, the American government controlled by Donald Trump back in family with $1 billion+ We've seen 300,000. So we see that this has been pretty much a way for a lot of Democrats to gain a lot of attention. The Trump hate is the most popular thing happening in politics for a very long time. So I'm just going to be interested to see exactly what does happen. We're obviously going to be live streaming that big announcement, but the reactions are as expected. The reactions from these Democrats is, in my opinion, as everyone expected, as everyone expects. No one here is surprised that the Democrats were going to try to get in front of all of this. And we'll see. Maybe the White House maneuvers into something else and then does it. We'll see what Trump does, but I don't think he's going to hold back. All right. Let me know what you guys think about all of this and more. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.